Hi folks, this is Dr. Stacy Dean. I will be teaching EDIS5500 Survey of Autism Spectrum Disorders for the University of Virginia for this summer 2012 course. First I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about myself, and then we will go over the syllabus and the assignments and essentially discuss what the course content will be. As a little side note, I definitely like to, particularly with a class that is completely online, which ours is, we will not have any face-to-face meeting. I do like to supplement the course with occasional videos like this to support learners that like that auditory and visual in addition to the reading literature part of it. Okay, so that being said, my name is Stacy Dean, and I have been in the field of special education for 21 years, and all of it has been special education. Literally, my bachelor's, my master's, my doctorate have been in special education. I love it. I was a classroom teacher for 10 years prior to going into higher ed, and for the entire 10 years, I taught what we used to call low incidence disabilities. Essentially, my classes were composed of students with intellectual disabilities and autism spectrum disorders. So that's where my classroom teaching has primarily been, and I do teach coursework related to that for the University of Virginia and also for Virginia Commonwealth University, and I enjoy it tremendously, and hopefully you will enjoy this course as well. All right, so I'm going to go over the syllabus. This is a 3-credit course offered by the University of Virginia. And for the course, you will need to have 2 textbooks. One is, let's hope Speaking to the Students with Autism Spectrum Disorders by Heflin and Alamo. And the other book is by Paula Cluth, and it's You Are Going to Love This Kid, Teaching Students with Autism in the Inclusive Classroom. I recommend that because this is an online course, I don't typically order books for the bookstore, but you can certainly call the Northern Virginia campus and see if they have these books there. They may have been ordered for you, or you can go ahead and get them at an online source that you prefer, whether it's Amazon or Barnes & Nobles. I do recommend you get them as quickly as possible so that you can move along in the course. This summer courses are generally a little more fast-paced, but I also understand that you need a little bit of time to get your textbooks. So I always make Module 1 and Module 2 of the course a little bit longer to give you that leeway to get kind of the textbooks and then get into the groove of the class as well. So for the, your syllabus has all of this information, plus a lot more that I'll go over in this video. Again, this is a completely online course, and if you are not familiar with, you really need to spend time perusing the collab classroom, our collab classroom. And I highly recommend that if you have any technology issues, you contact ITC at UVA, and their information is provided in the syllabus for you. Okay, so the assignments. Well, the assignments are going to consist of online modules. So you will have 6 modules for this class, and they are in sequential order, starting with always Module 1. And in Module 1, you will have activities related to Chapters 1 and Chapter 2. In Module 2, you will have activities related to Chapter 3, Chapter 4, and of course, some of it is in the text and some of it is not. I really don't see it always is important to just go over everything in the text. However, I try to supplement through lectured PowerPoints, videos, other online websites. There's so many great resources online for autism spectrum disorders now. We've really done a lot in the field in that area in the past 5-10 years, I'd say. So you will be required to go to external websites and register for some of them. They should be free of charge. But they will require, a username and perhaps some of them a password so that you can view videos or learning modules, because I really want you to see what it is rather than just reading a textbook. I was a classroom teacher for 10 years. I love the practical stuff. I want the meat and the potatoes of what to do. So I try to provide that as well in a class that really has a lot of theory, but I want you to be able to apply that theory in a real life situation. So I try to supplement the class in that way. So you will have to go to external websites to view a lot of this stuff. Okay, so your online modules will include videos to view, lectured PowerPoints, narrated PowerPoints. So that means that with some of the PowerPoints, I narrate them. So you will be able to click through and see them, but you will also be able to hear them. So make sure that your sound is on when you view the PowerPoints, because it's kind of like iTunes University. I provide you with the verbal part of it as well as the visual PowerPoint. And then you will have case studies for some of the modules. You will have chapter questions for the modules. Some of these questions are from the back of each chapter. There'll probably be 1 or 2 questions per chapter, 2, 3, 1 to 3 in that range. Some of them will come directly from your book. Some of them will not. So, you'll have to, again, do a little research there. But I hope that the questions are always relevant. One of the things I really like about this text is that I do think that the questions are very relevant. I actually never assign questions or assignments from the back of from the end of a chapter in a textbook. This is the only class I do this in because I feel like the questions really are relevant and practical, and they help you apply the theory that you're learning. You will also have webcasts. I will have you view a few webcasts and discussion board posts. So I will tell you, go to our discussion board and respond to the question. For example, in Module 1, I actually have you do the first discussion board post will be an introduction of yourself. And so you'll tell us a little bit about yourself, where you work, why you're taking this class, and that forth. And those are all mandatory, and each of the 6 modules will be graded. Okay, so that's one assignment. The other assignments that you will have are, besides the modules, are the chapter questions, which I mentioned earlier. So they will also count as additional points, but they will be written into the module. So it'll be all there, easy for you. You'll just go through each item in the module and complete it that way. And I do recommend that you complete it sequentially, starting with 1, 2, and 3. You don't have to, but sometimes I build information on previous information in them, and that just might be more beneficial to you. Okay, so your modules, chapter questions, a book critique. This is where you will have to read a book and critique it, and you'll have to answer some questions, and this is very well laid out in your syllabus about the book. I did provide in the syllabus a list of possible books that might interest you, and you are also free to contact me with any other books that you may be interested in. But here's the thing, please ask me about the book first. If it's not on the list and you want to read something that's not on the list, please send me an email and just ask me if that book is okay. Some books I don't feel are a good fit or match for this particular course or for the information I really want you to get. So please just send an email and ask me if it's an acceptable book to do the book critique on. Then you will have an intervention review. This is probably the big research part of this class, where you will have to research 2 different interventions that have been found effective with persons with autism. You will learn a lot about effective interventions in the course through the textbook, and also I provided in the resource section of our classroom of our course Collab site, the National Professional Development Center, which is really a leading authority on empirically based strategies for students with autism. So the information there will be great for you. And again, that link, that website, and the other websites on our resource page of our Collab site will put you in the right direction in terms of figuring out what strategies are effective. And the text will too. And hopefully at the end of this course you'll know more than 2, but you will have to write about 2. And there is a format I do want APA. And in the syllabus there are rubrics to help you with these assignments so that you know what I'm looking for and how I'm grading them. And it will give you a lot more information about that. You will also have a final project, which will be a case study, and that will be towards the end of the semester. And this will be exactly that, a case study. So we're going to take all the theory that we learned and really apply it to real life. So you will read about a student, and you will have questions that you will need to answer and reflect upon. This is not, I'm not doing any quizzes in this class or tests where you get on and log on and do a timed assessment. We're not doing any of those for this particular course. So you will be able to use your notes and everything else for this final project, final exam, if you will. But then at the end, you'll have a self-assessment paper where is the reflective part of this class. I want you to reflect upon, what you knew when you started and where you are at the end. What did you gain from this that you can bring back to perhaps the field you're working in, if you're working with someone with autism, or if you live with someone with autism, or whatever capacity that is, if you ever work with someone with autism in the future. So that will be the reflective paper. And that will be pretty much the crux of your assignments, and the point values, the rubrics to kind of help you look at what I'm expecting. They're all clearly delineated in the syllabus. I think that's pretty much it for the syllabus. Again, I want to talk a little bit about the course classroom, if you will. I'll call it the classroom, which is our Collab workspace. The modules are listed, Module 1, Module 2, Module 3. That's Module 1 is where you will start. The resources tab of this part of our classroom will be where there will be websites and so forth that I find informational and useful. Then there will be information on APA style of writing, because I do expect that your intervention papers be in APA format, and I will have an APA guide to how to do that for those of you who are not familiar with APA in the resources section of our course. Some people who have not had experience with APA, if you have not had experience with APA, you can just certainly say, I still want you to do it. I still want you to try it, because I do think at a master's level, everybody should be learning that. But if it's really, truly, completely new to you, do the best you can. And then, say, this is the best I can do. This is the first time I'm doing APA. And I will certainly keep that in mind when I'm grading. I hope that I can be fair and flexible. And I hope that you can be fair and flexible. I usually say you should check your email every 24 hours, as will I, and you can certainly call me if you have any questions or you need anything. My phone number is on the syllabus, and you can certainly contact me that way. Just leave a message if I'm not available, or you can send me an email. Again, 24 hours. We should all be checking our email for every 24 hours. The other thing, and also please allow me 24 hours to get back to you. Sometimes I travel and that 24 hours goes quickly, and I don't always get back to you within 3 hours. So I try to. I definitely will try to do earlier than 24 hours. But in the event that I'm traveling, just give me that little bit of time. And also to please allow for some time for some grading. I teach multiple courses, and I'm teaching multiple courses over the summer, so give me a little time to get the grades in. I may not always respond to your posts on the discussion board or every single post, because this is an opportunity for you guys to have that social piece and interact on the discussion board as you will. And if any of you ever want me to go ahead and put up a new discussion forum, absolutely send me an email. I love when students do that. They say, they want to collaborate and pick the brains, if you will, of their colleagues in this class. And I think that that's great. So if you ever have something that you want to go on the discussion board because you'd love feedback from your peers, you can certainly ask me to post a question for you, and I'd be happy to do so, as long as it's relative to the course and appropriate, of course. And I think that's it for now. I hope this video in some way helps you. I don't know any other professors who do this, so I'm always kind of wondering if my students are finding this useful. And if you are, let me know. That would be great. And if you're not, let me know that too. But I am looking forward to working with you this summer, and I am thrilled that you all are taking this course and on the road to bettering the lives of students with autism spectrum disorders. And I hope we have a wonderful summer. Thanks.